Well, today's December 22nd. In about 10 days I have hernia surgery, and I will not be able to be picking up hives and moving them. As it is right now, it's difficult enough. I was outside today and I checked for dead bees in my colonies, and you see that pile right there? I had just checked them less than 2 weeks ago and cleaned out all the dead bees. And I checked again today, and the first one that I was concerned with from last checking them, I found a lot of dead bees. So I was quite alarmed, and it's this one right here, 45. So what I did was I decided to bring them all in. It's about 50 degrees in here, and what I'm trying to do, see these here, I've downsized these over a month ago, and I brought them inside when it got really cold out, and these have always stayed outside except for that one. I did bring that in for a short period of time, then I left it back out because it was a good sized colony. But with the number that are dying, it's not so large anymore. So what I'm trying to do is I'm going to leave the tops off of these, and it's going to warm up in here, and they're going to be able to leave the cluster, because right now 45 is down at the bottom with all the dead bees, all the sick bees from viruses. And I don't want them with all the dead bees. I want them up at the top so the dead bees fall down at the bottom and I can clean them out. What'll happen is they will eventually warm up and they'll come up to the top. See these right here? They've already done that outside. Well, this one right here is probably not all the way up, but they're close. And this will give me an idea as to how many bees are actually in there. I did take a peek a couple days ago and it was warm. I opened up the 2 deeps just real quick, and I saw there's quite a few bees in there. But with my surgery coming up and me being able to do nothing for about a month, I decided to bring them in here. And what I can do in the next few days was when they come up to the top, I can open these doors and I could chill it in here, bring it down to about 30 or whatever the temperature is outside, and they will cluster again. And then I will be able to remove the bottom deep and bottom screen, and I can clean them out and I can downsize them, making it easier to move them in and out. Because what I'm going to do is when it warms up again, sometime, I don't know, I may warm up February, you never know, I could easily take them back outside and I will set them in exactly the same place where they were when I brought them in. Let me go through this real quick. Honeybee enemies. The number one enemy to the honeybee is the crop farmer. Crop farmers have overproduction right now. They keep expanding their fields. They're cutting down trees. And if I get a chance, I'll make a video this spring or late winter about all the trees that the farmers cut down, and they put them in a pile and they wait for them to dry out a little bit, and then they just burn mass piles of wood. Such a waste. And then they go through and they tile the ground so that places that weren't tillable years ago now become tillable. And then they overuse chemicals. I know this for a fact because 2016 I had some bees near a field with trees between the field and the bees, and the farmers went through and planted seeds and sprayed their chemicals, and my bees died. So what's going on? Why do farmers have to insist on producing so much? Well, it's like this. Farmers, they get a subsidy from the government because right now they're not making enough money to survive. So what they do, the more they have, the more subsidy they get from the government. It's welfare for farmers. And why is this possible? Why is this happening? Because the corporations that buy the grain from the farmers, they want low prices. So with the overproduction of grain, that keeps the prices low. And these large corporations, they can buy this at low, cheap prices, and then they can make whatever they're going to make, and they can sell it to us and make huge profits. So us taxpayers are subsidizing the welfare for farmers, and it's just ridiculous. The number 2 enemy of the honeybee is, of course, varroa mites, varroa destructor. You know, the bee industry keeps creating all these different things to control mites, and we end up getting a resistant mite. The last time I bought packages, 2017, the bees were just full of mites. And whatever you use, it doesn't seem to work. So I tried the formic acid last fall, and it's from Formic Pro. It's something new on the market, and I have mixed results so far. You know, it's easier to keep your bees alive if you take them down south during the winter, because you can keep the queen laying, and the colony will not have to worry about the temperatures freezing them, and the colonies won't, when they shrink from the viruses, from the mites, they won't be all frozen like they are up here. So it's more difficult in the north to keep bees. And that leads us to the number 3 problem, or enemy. And it has been the weather. The weather has become more unpredictable and extreme. We go from really cold temperatures to warm. And like I mentioned in previous videos, it's nice to have the trees in the spring because there's lots of pollen for the bees to get started growing their colonies. But what happens is the pollen will get covered with ice and the bees have no access to it. And the ice could sit there for months at a time. So it can be frustrating sometimes. You know, when I started beekeeping 6 years ago, I followed Kirk Webster and what he was doing, and I didn't do any mite treatments whatsoever. And I nearly got wiped out 3 years later. So that didn't work. And then what I tried next was I tried some Russian queens from Foley's Russian Bees, and everybody on YouTube gave me a hard time, said, oh, they're not Russian bees. I contacted the Russian Honeybee Breeders Association. They said Foley was working on becoming a member. So I do think they are Russian queens. They do act like Russian bees from everything that I've read and seen on YouTube. So they are Russian bees, and they weren't any better against the mice than the Italians that I had previous years. So I went to the new product here, Formic Pro formic acid. I tried that last fall, put that in the hives in September 2018, and I took it out beginning of October 2018. And I'm still questioning what, you know, is it working or not. I'm having better success at this time than I did last year, so it has made an improvement. But is it 100% like they claim? They claim that it kills varroa mites. Well, I have a couple colonies here. One of them, this one here, is Foley's queen, and I did check a couple weeks ago or 10 days ago, and there was a lot of dead bees in here. And I didn't check that one today, but as soon as I checked that one, and I realized, hey, they're down at the bottom with all the dead bees. They don't need to be there. It's not good for them to be around the sick bees. Same as people. If you're around sick people, you're going to get sick too. So I decided to bring them in, try to get them to come up. Once they come up to the top, I'm going to chill it in here, and I'm going to downsize these hives. And I did see something on YouTube today. It's the first edible vaccine for honeybees. I'm going to watch that, see what happens. I'm hoping, I'm praying that someday we don't have these issues with honeybees. Because I love honeybees. I'm going to try to keep this going as long as I can. Try to do research, try to find out what you can do to keep honeybees alive. I'm not going to buy bees from anybody anymore because I know from a fact, I talked to a beekeeper and he says he makes money selling honeybees to people like me and other people that have maybe 1 or 2 colonies. So they make money doing that. So stop that money flow, keep your own bees, raise your own queens, and hopefully you can keep doing it year after year. Hopefully next year will be my 2nd year without buying any bees. We'll see. Okay? Thank you.